you're new, my name is Maddie, and in today's video I'm going to be filming another reading vlog where I show you how much I read every day for a week, starting on Monday and ending this on Sunday. I've been having so much fun filming these videos, and I've been calling them how much I read in a week. As a wannabe booktuber, the title still stands in my third edition of this video, so make sure you're subscribed down below. I've said this in the last two videos I've filmed. I do work remote, so I am at home all day. I have more time to read in the morning, in the evening, during lunch. I do have spare time. So if it looks like I'm reading more than you or I'm reading randomly during the day, that is why. But I also just prioritize reading no matter what. I don't really have a social life, and I'm okay with that. So let's get into the video. Let's see how much we can read this week. It's just one hit after another. Like, our main character Samantha is just going through it. I'm like, what next? What next? Where is the happily ever after? Wait, no, because I'm actually crying. What? This book is so sad. It's like way better than I thought it was going to be, but still just what? What? I'm so unwell right now. I don't want to finish it. I'm scared. I'm scared for more trauma. Nobody say anything about my pickleball graphic tee or my hair, okay? I'm back with updates. I read up a storm today. I finished Say You'll Remember Me, and I'm glad I read it because I was getting emotional at the end. That book is sad, and I was caught up in all of the sad animal stories in that book that I did not expect the main character's story to be that sad as well, because I was just worried about these poor animals. Like, I did not want to see an animal in danger. Why does my forehead look ginormous? I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. Look at that. I haven't even read Let Them yet by Mel Robbins, and I understand it. What am I trying to say here? I ended up really liking the book. I'm glad I pushed past my initial hesitations with the book, because everything did end up being okay ever since I read the trigger warnings. So, you know, read your trigger warnings. They're there for a reason. I didn't even realize that something like that would bother me so much in a book. I mean, I knew it would, but I just didn't expect Abby Jimenez to write about that. But I get why, because the guy is a veterinarian and he is literally a hero. He saves animals left and right. I love him. So I'm glad that all the animals ended up being okay for the most part. That is my #1 priority. Animals over humans. Sorry, I'm kidding, but like, not really. I'm so heartbroken for Samantha's family and her mom. I really thought that there would be a happier ending with her family. I mean, Abby Jimenez spun it so that there was some sense of peace at the end, but there really wasn't, and that is brutal. And I feel so much for these fictional characters. I can't even imagine going through that in real life. Wow. This book was heavy. I didn't even realize how heavy it got, because like some of the little social media references and like the connections to modern day were a little bit cringy, that I didn't think it was going to get that deep. This author knows how to get deep. I think I was worried at how good this book was going to be, just because I've seen a lot of criticism online. People can't get past that she references ACOTAR, and she has like a lot of TikTok references on there, which some people don't like to read about. I don't mind it, but I don't want it to be excessive. And Abby Jimenez repeats things a lot, I've noticed. Like, the thing that bothered me in her last book, Just for the Summer, is when the main character referenced like making herself small or something like that, or like she's on her own island and nobody loves her. She mentioned that approximately 500 times. And the same thing in this book with Reese. Something about being a worm, like, would you love me if I was a worm? That came up That sounds so silly, but if you're chronically online, like, you know what I'm referencing. I guess there were a lot of other social media references, but it didn't bother me that much because that was Samantha's job. She was a marketing person, graphic design, I don't even know. Wow, good job explaining her job. You know, she was a social media manager. How about that? So that didn't bother me that much. I just didn't really connect with this story as much as I've connected to other books by this author. But I'll tell you what, there were some amazing quotes at the end of this story. I really didn't even know how it was gonna work out, but it did. It's kind of an unrealistic ending, some may say. And I don't know why I'm going to say this, and I don't even know if anybody else agrees with me, but it kind of reminded me of Happy Place, at least the ending. And I know some people hate Happy Place because it's unrealistic. So honestly, I feel like that is why this book is not getting a lot of good ratings. Let me read you some of the quotes. "I know I've always loved you," he said simply. "I think I couldn't forget you because I remember you from a different lifetime. And I loved you then too." I love when characters say, "Oh, I think I dreamt of you," or "I made you up in my dreams," or "I knew you in my other life," like that. Are you kidding me? Across universes, like, are you kidding me? That's so romantic. Okay, so then this next part, Samantha was trying to show Xavier how much she loved him and was like, "You remember when you watched a movie like 10 years ago and then someone asked you about it, like what you thought of it, and you can't remember much about it other than, oh, it was like a Western movie, or oh, that was a really good horror movie. You just remember the genre." So then she goes into this. "I'd like to look back on my life and remember every single thing. But if I don't, I hope I remember that it was a love story and that the love story was about you." And that's also kind of special because if you know what her mom's going through, then you'll know the importance of like her memories and making memories with people she loves and cherishing every little moment. So overall rating for this book, I was gonna say a 3, but I honestly think it's more of a 3.5. I don't know. Like I was saying in another clip, it really picked up for me about 70% mark. And I don't know, I just really felt the characters' love for each other and they were willing to make sacrifices. And love conquers all. Okay. So I ended up reading 166 pages of Say You'll Remember Me. Wrong. I read 161 pages. And then I read 55 pages of the Summer I Turned Pretty book. It's called We'll Always Have Summer. I listened to the audiobook of it, but it ended up being 55 pages once I did a little math. So my total for the day as of right now is 216 total pages on Monday. Starting off strong. And honestly, I might pick up another book right now. It might be Jessa Hastings' new book. I'll let you guys know tomorrow if I end up reading more than 216 pages. Good night. Hello everyone, it is Tuesday night. And I did read this morning. I started a new book. I started The Conditions of Will by our queen, Jessa Hastings, and I read 101 pages. I only read when I woke up this morning. Sam and I just finished watching episode 1 of The Last of Us, season 2. Been waiting for this since March 2023. I'm obsessed. I can't wait until all the episodes are out. Yeah, I don't have any update on the book so far. I like Jessa Hastings' writing, but I'm interested to see where this is going to go because right now I don't know like what exactly the plot is, but there is some romance. Update you guys tomorrow.
What's going on?
I don't even want to see the angle of this.
What's going on?
Hey guys, just thought I would update you before I fall asleep on the couch at 8:11 p.m. the eve before my 28th birthday. Hey guys, it's Wednesday. I did read today, but I'm about to fall asleep on the couch as you saw. I think I read around 100 pages this morning, and I might read a little bit more right now before I actually fall asleep. Oh, look at this Twilight cake Sam got me for my birthday. And I like the book. I really like the book. I feel like not too much is happening, but I don't care because I like Jessa Hastings' writing. But I know something crazy is about to happen in the next few chapters, just based on what I know about the story, which isn't much, but I'm excited. We'll update you guys tomorrow on Thursday, my birthday. 28. Hey, 28 and still trying to pursue my YouTube channel. It's never too late.
It's never too late, baby.
Also, I forgot, I listened to so much of the second Summer I Turned Pretty book, We'll Always Have Summer. Hello, everybody, I'm still awake. This is a reading montage with my bed unmade and clothes right there. Realistic. Bye, Sammy. And I was so lazy, I made Sam press record. Let's read.
Saw your silhouette in the backlight. Swear we could have met in a past life. Treating every night like the last time. So I end all my days with you. Yeah, we should share a backseat in a taxi to get home. No need for either of us at this point to sleep alone. 'Cause I don't like ending my days with you. You can waste my time if that's what you wanna do. Oh, I don't.
Hey everyone, we are now in London. This reading vlog is turning into a little bit of a travel vlog, but that's okay because I'm still reading. I still have updates. Yesterday on Thursday, it was my birthday. I'm 28, but Sam threw me a little mini Twilight birthday party before we left. So that was fun. Am I 28 or 12? Who knows? So I did read a little bit on the plane ride over here, but it was so short, and honestly the people next to me were talking so loud I couldn't focus. So I only read 22 pages of The Conditions of Will yesterday. I will never stand for this whole Americans are the loudest people on earth slander, because let me tell you, that was not the case yesterday. I was probably actually the quietest person on that plane. So 1 point for America. Yeah, that's besides the point. But today I'm going to show you a little montage of us book shopping. We went to some popular bookstores and I just vlogged a little bit of London. We had a really nice day. We're about to go to dinner. We had some downtime to read before dinner, so I'll update you guys later with my final page count for Friday. But let's get into the montage of London and book shopping. Book haul coming soon. I feel like I just talked a lot with my hands. I kept being like, whatever.
Hey guys, you are getting a voiceover because I didn't talk to the camera the rest of the weekend. Go Maddie. But on Friday we woke up and went to Percentage Arabica, which if you read the Magnolia Park series, Magnolia goes to this cafe in Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. And it was even more perfect that I was reading a Jessa Hastings book while we were there. Then we went to Cecil Court, which is known as Booksellers Row. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, sorry. And it was fun. They have a bunch of stores for art, antiques, souvenirs, books of course, but a lot of the shops were closed for Easter weekend. So then we went over to Waterstones. This is the biggest Waterstones in Europe. My friend let me know that. And oh, here's some cozy crime novels. I feel like Harriet Kilpatrick. If you read Happy Place, you know Harriet Core. This place truly was amazing. I found a signed edition. They had so many different displays. Finally found a copy of The Conditions of Will, and the art, you're kidding. I need this copy. They had all the new releases out and on display. I love this edition of Little Women. I've never read anything by Olivia Blake, but I definitely want to give her a chance. I also love this Hunger Games display. They had one out front too. Someone comment down below that I don't need this edition of the Twilight series because I love it. Then we went on over to Daunt Books, and guys, this place is beautiful. The pictures and videos truly don't do it justice. One of the most beautiful bookstores I've ever been into. We each left this weekend with only one book each. Oh wait, that's a lie. I bought 2 books at the airport, I just remembered. But hey, only 2 books technically on the trip. After this, we went to Notting Hill and walked around. And then we made our way over to Holland Park to say hi to some of my besties. And by besties, I mean fictional characters. Yes, this is where the characters in Magnolia Parks live. And I wish we could have spent more time here, but we had a dinner reservation. It was beautiful though. Ended up reading 40 pages on Friday. Then on Saturday, we woke up and took the train to Brighton. I feel like I'm Steph right now. I loved watching her study abroad vlogs. We got fish and chips and ate it on the beach, of course. Guys, this day was perfect. It was truly the best day. We had so much fun sitting on the beach. We walked on the pier and then we went into a lot of the shops here. I got a beautiful charm bracelet made. We went into all the bookstores. Of course, in the UK, you can sell books at a cheaper price. I'm not exactly sure why, but it is a thing if you Google it. Please Google it. Don't listen to my explanation. And they had a lot of popular books for only £5. I've always heard books are cheaper in the UK, and that is true. There was a bookstore where they were all under £5, which is amazing. Then we went to our Airbnb, which is so cute. This is me pretending that I'm reading, but I'm really not, because guess what? My total page count for Saturday was only 10 pages. Yeah, I read a total of 10 pages on Saturday, but that's okay because we were living in the moment. We were having fun in nature, looking for seashells. What a blast. And then we had an early night because on Sunday we woke up and hiked some of the Seven Sisters. It was a cloudy, windy, cold day, but we still had fun. I mean, look at this. It doesn't get better than this. I love nature. On the plane ride home, I read 34 pages and that's my total for Sunday. Let's get back into the video. Sorry, guys.
I'm not even going to change my sweatshirt. I'm not going to pretend, guys. I filmed the intro and outro on the same day. What can you do, okay? This always happens to me. So I'm here to give you my final page count for this week. I ended up reading 691 pages. Not bad, if you think about it. However, I read a lot of different books, but I didn't finish them all in this video. I only finished one, and that is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I know there are a lot of mixed reviews going around right now, and people have a lot of negative things to say about this book. And you know what? I was hesitant at first. I could have been a hater, but I gave the book a chance, and I ended up really liking it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, 3.75, something like that. I thought it was really emotional. I'm a sucker for an emotional read, and I definitely recommend it. It's not my favorite of hers by any means, but still give it a chance. So then the second book I came close to finishing, which I randomly just stopped talking about in this video, and this explains why, is the second, The Summer I Turned Pretty book, We'll Always Have Summer. I listened to about 80% of it in this week's vlog, but then it got returned to the library because my hold expired and I was not anticipating that. Did not realize that even happened until I went to go finish it and it was gone. Poof. So that's a bummer. Otherwise I would have finished it, but I put it back on hold. So hopefully it'll be ready in the next month and I'll finish my last 20% of it. And then I read 80% of The Conditions of Will by Jessa Hastings in this video. And I didn't finish it. I technically finished it the day after I stopped filming this video. I finished it on a Monday. And I am here to give you my review of it because I don't know when else I will give you my final review. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. And honestly, I think that rating could have been higher if I read it in one sitting or over 3 to 4 days. I feel like it took me a while to finish this book because we were traveling and whatnot. But in reality, it only took me a week to finish a book. But if you look at how many books I read a week or how many books I read a year, I typically fly through a book in 2 or 3 days. So if I'm reading it for too long or I don't have time to read, I'm not as invested in that world and the story, and I think that's what happened in this book. If I could have absolutely binged this book, could see it being higher than 4 stars, maybe 4.5. But I will stand on, I don't think this would have been a 5-star read if I binged it because there were a few things that bothered me. Not a few things, just one thing. And that is, please don't kill me. So I love the Magnolia Park series. My babies are all right here. They're all right here, okay? Love that series, 5-star series. Love Daisy Hates, love Jessa. I actually met Jessa. She signed my books. She was the sweetest cutie pie ever. I fell in love with the Magnolia Park series just like everyone else because she just has the most beautiful sentences and metaphors, and her characters just love each other so much. Her declarations of love in every book are incredible. The characters are so well developed. What I'm trying to say is, in The Conditions of Will, I felt like she had so many metaphors. And I normally love them, but it just felt like every sentence she was comparing something to another moment in time or whatever. And I was just like, do we have to compare everything to something else? Can't something just be? And don't get me wrong, I highlighted a lot of the metaphors because they're beautiful. It just felt like a lot in this book. Every chapter she would be like, oh, I'm in love with it and he smiled at me, like when you're going down a water slide, blah, blah, blah. Like every single thing was compared to something else. I don't even know if that happened, I'm just thinking. So I just made that up. That's my only complaint about this book, is it just felt over the top. However, as I was reading the last 20% of it, I didn't notice it as much. It was just like the middle of the book was very metaphor heavy. Is metaphor even the right word? You guys know what I'm talking about. It was just very, very lyrical, which there's nothing wrong with that. But it just felt like a 2% too much. Is that fair? Other than that, love the stories. I love Georgia and my man Sam Penny. I love that the male main character's name is Sam because my husband's name is Sam. So there were a lot of cute quotes where she's talking about Sam and like how they're in love, and it had his name Sam in the sentence. So I could highlight those quotes and take pictures of it. So that felt special. She wrote this book just for me, and the plot was crazy. It was very fascinating. At no point did I know where this was going. Plot twist, so good. I would obviously recommend this book. The setting of this book was really fun too, because Georgia goes back to her hometown, which is a small town in the South, and her family is your typical Southern family, bless your heart kind of vibe. Felt pretty realistic considering I spent the last 10 years of my life in Georgia, and 4 of those years in the smallest, most southern town in Georgia. So it felt like home. There's definitely a lot of characters living in the South, that's for sure. I think this is the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching what I read in a week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Subscribe down below. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of April, and I would so appreciate it if you guys stuck around. See you in my next video.